The warning lights flashed red across the control room. Commander Lee Hun looked up from his coffee as the alarms started to ring. He had been reading reports about grain shipments to Mars. Now something much more important was happening. "Do we have?" Lee Haeon asked as he walked to the main screen. Dr. Park Soo-jin was already working at her station. Her fingers moved fast across the keyboard. Numbers and strange symbols filled her screen. She was the best at understanding alien languages on the whole station. "It's a distress signal, Commander," she said. Her voice was serious, coming from the Vega system. "Very weak. I think it traveled a long way." Engineer Choi Min-ho ran into the room. He was still holding a wrench. Oil stains covered his work clothes. "The big antenna picked up something strange," he said. All the computers started going crazy. Lee Haeon nodded. "Show me what we have, Dr. Park." The main screen changed. Strange sounds filled the room. It sounded like someone crying, but it was not human crying. The voice was higher and softer. Lee Hoan felt cold when he heard it. Double quotes, "Please, ... The voice said in broken galactic common. "The harvester ships. They consume everything. Our children, ... Help us. ... Double quotes." Then the signal stopped. The room became quiet. Too quiet. Dr. Park Soo-jin looked at her data. The signal came from Kalaris Prime. That's the home world of the Kalari people. They are peaceful. They make medicine for half the galaxy. Lee Haeon knew about the Kalari. It looked like tall, thin deer that walked on two legs. It had soft fur and big, kind eyes. They never fought wars. They just wanted to help sick people get better. "How long ago was this sent?" Lee Haeon asked. "At least 3 days," Dr. Park Soo-jin said. "Maybe more." "The signal is very old." Choi Min-ho checked his equipment. "I can try to make the signal stronger. Maybe there is more." "Do it," Lee Haeon said. For the next hour, they worked together. Choi Min-ho fixed the machines. Dr. Park Soo-jin cleaned up the signal. Lee Haeon called Captain Kim Duo on the space. "Ship Indomitable." The ship was in orbit around Earth. "Captain Kim, we need you here right away," Lee Haeon said. "On my way, Commander," Captain Kim said. His voice was strong and calm. "Ain't fought in 3 wars. Nothing scared him." When the signal came back, it was clearer, and much worse. "Day 7 of the attack," the Kalari voice said. "The harvester ships are like moving cities. They eat our planets, they take our people, and they change them into things. Our armies are gone, our cities are burning. Please, someone help us. I have children hiding in the deep caves. They are so scared." The voice broke. Lee Hoon could hear explosions in the background, then screaming, then nothing. Dr. Park Soo-jin had tears in her eyes. "Commander, I know." This voice. It's Elder Velen. She was at the peace talks on Luna Station last year. She brought gifts for human children. Toys made from flower petals. Captain Kim Do-woo arrived 20 minutes later. He was a big man with scars on his hands from old battles. He listened to the signal 3 times. His face became harder each time. "What do we know about these harvesters?" he asked Dr. Park Soo-jin. Brought up files on her computer. Not much. Some old reports from the edge of the galaxy. Ships that eat everything. It's planets that become empty rocks. No one knows where they come from. "What does the Galactic Council say?" Lee Han asked. "I sent them the signal 2 hours ago," Dr. Park Soo-jin said. "They said they will form a committee to study the problem. The committee will meet next month." Captain Kim laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. "Next month, the Kalari will be dead by then." Lee Haeon felt angry. The Galactic Council was always slow. They talked and talked while people died. Humans were still new to the galaxy. Most aliens thought humans were too violent, too quick to fight. But sometimes fighting was the right thing to do. "Try to contact the Kalari again," Lee Haeon said. They tried for 6 hours. Nothing came back. The Vega system was silent. Choi Min-ho said, "I'm getting something else. Not from the Kalari." New sounds came from the speakers, deep and low, like machines grinding metal. but also like animals growling. It made everyone in the room feel sick. "What is that, Captain?" Kim asked. I think it's the harvesters," Dr. Park Soo-jin said. Her voice was very quiet. "They're using the Kaleri communication system now." The grinding sound stopped. Then a new voice spoke. It sounded like many voices talking at once, cold and hungry. "Consumption complete. Biomass processed. Moving to. Next, feeding ground. Galactic coordinates follow." Numbers appeared on the screen. Dr. Park Soo-jin looked at them and turned white. "Those coordinates," she said, "are heading toward the center of the galaxy, toward Earth." Lee Hyun stood up. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from anger. "Get me Admiral Yoon on the secure line," he said, "and send all this data." "To Earth Command, sir. What are you thinking?" Captain Kim asked. "I'm thinking the Galactic Council can have their meeting," Lee Hyun said, "but we're not going to wait for them." 30 minutes later, Admiral Yoon Tae-young's face appeared on the screen. She was an old woman, with steel-gray hair and sharp eyes. She had been fighting for Earth since before Lee Hyun was born. "I saw your report, Commander," she said. "This is bad." "Admiral, the Kaleri helped us when the plague hit the Mars colonies," Lee Hyun said. "They sent medicine for free, saved 2 million human lives." I remember Admiral Yoon said, "What do you want to do?" "I want to help them," Lee Hyun said, "if any of them are still alive." Captain Kim stepped forward. "Admiral, my ship is ready. The Indomitable can be at Vega in 12 days. One ship against city-sized monsters?" Admiral Yoon shook her head. "We'll need more than that." "Then give us more," Lee Hyun said. "Give us a fleet." Admiral Yoon was quiet for a long time. The background, they could hear alarms ringing at Earth Command. Other people were reading the reports now. Other people were getting angry. "The Council of Species sent us a message 1 hour ago," Admiral Yoon said. "They told us to stay away from the Vega system. They said it was too dangerous for humans." "What did you tell them?" Lee Han asked. Admiral Yoon smiled. It was not a nice smile. "I told them that humans don't abandon friends. And I told them to prepare for the biggest fleet Earth has ever sent into space." Double quotes. Dr. Park Soo-jin looked surprised. "Admiral, the other species will be angry." "Let them be angry," Admiral Yoon said. "The Kalari children are hiding in caves right now. They're scared and alone. Maybe their parents are dead. Maybe they're the only ones left alive on their whole planet." She paused and looked directly at Lee Hyun. "Commander, send word to every human ship in space. Tell them to come home. We're going to war." Admiral Yoon Tae-young stood in the war room on Luna Base. Around her, dozens of officers worked at their stations. Red lights blinked on screens showing ship positions across the solar system. Every human warship was coming home. "Status report," Admiral Yoon said. Lieutenant Colonel Jang So-young stepped forward. She was tall and strong with short black hair and steady hands. She had trained soldiers for 15 years. "Ma'am, we have 47 warships ready or coming back to Earth. The Marine battalions are loading onto transport ships now." "Medical ships?" Admiral Yoon asked. Dr. Bae-juan looked up from his tablet. He was a thin man who always looked worried. But he was the best doctor in the fleet. 12 hospital ships are ready, Admiral. We have enough medicine and supplies for 100,000 refugees." "Good," Admiral Yoon said. "If we find survivors, we need to help them." The main screen showed a map of the solar system. Green dots marked human ships moving toward Earth. Some came from Mars, others from the asteroid mining stations. A few came from the edge of the system where they had been watching for alien attacks. Pilot Ace Kong Woo-jin walked into the room. His flight suit was dirty from checking his fighter ship. "Admiral, the pilots are ready. We have 600 fighter ships. All our best people. How long until everyone is here?" Admiral Yoon asked. 18 hours, Lieutenant Colonel Jang said. "The ships from Europa will be the last to arrive." Admiral Yoon nodded. Then she pressed a button on the table. The room became quiet. "Attention all ships," she said into the microphone. "This is Admiral Yoon. In 1 day, we will launch the biggest rescue mission in human history. We are going to save the Kaleri people. We are going to stop the harvesters. And we are going to show the galaxy what humans do when when our friends are in danger. Her voice was strong and clear. On ships across the solar system, human crews heard her words. They felt proud and scared at the same time. 6 hours later, the first alien visitor arrived. The Zephyrian ship was long and silver, like a needle in space. It landed at the diplomatic station near Earth's moon. Ambassador Kekstar was 7 feet tall and had blue skin. His species was old and wise. They had been traveling space for thousands of years before humans learned to make fire. Admiral Yoon, Ambassador Kekstar, said when he met her, "I must speak with you about this fleet you are building." "What about it?" Admiral Yoon asked. "The Harvesters have destroyed 17 worlds," Ambassador Kekstar said. His voice was deep and sad. "Even we Zephyrians fear them. They are not like other enemies. They cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be stopped." "We have to try," Admiral Yoon said. "Your ships are strong, but they are few," Ambassador Kekstar said. "The Harvester vessels are the size of cities. Their weapons can break moons in half. Your people will die." Admiral Yoon looked at the alien. "Ambassador, do you have children?" "Yes," he said. 3 offspring. "If someone was hurting your children, would you just sit and watch?" Ambassador Kekstar was quiet for a moment. "No, I would fight. The Kalari are our friends," Admiral Yoon said. "They helped us when we needed help. Now they need us, the ambassadors." Skin changed color. It became darker blue. This meant he was thinking hard. "I cannot give you ships," he said. "But I can give you information about the Harvesters." "Tell me," Admiral Yoon said. For 2 hours, Ambassador Kekstar shared what his people knew. The Harvesters were part machine and part living creature. They ate everything on planet's plants, animals, even the rocks. They turned what they ate into more ships and more weapons. "They have one weakness," Ambassador Kekstar said. "They expect their enemies to fight in certain ways. Energy weapons, force shields, long-range attacks. People fight differently." "How so?" Admiral Yoon asked. "Humans use kinetic weapons, metal bullets, explosive shells. The Harvesters have never faced such primitive tactics. It might surprise them." When the ambassador left, Admiral Yoon called a meeting with her top officers. "We need to change our battle plans," she said. "Dr. Bay, what do you know about biological warfare?" Dr. Bay Juwoon looked surprised. "Admiral, biological weapons are banned by galactic law." "I'm not talking about weapons," Admiral Yoon said. "I'm talking about Earth bacteria and viruses. Things that might hurt biomechanical creatures. That ... That might work," Dr. Bay said slowly. "Earth diseases are very aggressive. Most aliens can't handle them." Lieutenant Colonel Jang leaned forward. "Admiral, what are you thinking?" "I'm thinking we fight like humans," Admiral Yoon said. "Not like civilized galactic citizens. We fight like people from a death world." So the next morning, more alien visitors came. The Centauri Trade Federation sent a ship. So did the Rigel Defense Alliance. They all had the same message. "Don't go to Vega. It's too dangerous. Navigator Lee." Do Yoon was in the planning room with Admiral Yoon when the messages came in. "Admiral, the alien governments are all asking us to stop," Lee Do Yoon said.
She was
"Young, but very smart, with star maps and space routes." "What are they offering to do instead?" Admiral Yoon asked. "The Trade Federation wants to send aid money to Kalari refugees," Lee Da-yoon said. "The Defense Alliance promises to patrol the area after the Harvesters leave." Admiral Yoon laughed, but she was not happy. "After the Harvesters leave, there won't be any Kalari left by then." On the news channels, alien reporters talked about the human fleet. Most of them said it was foolish. Humans were too young and too violent to understand space politics. "The humans don't realize how dangerous this is," said one Altarian news speaker. "They will all die, and it will be for nothing." But some aliens disagreed. It's on a secret channel. Someone sent Admiral Yoon detailed maps of the Vega system. The message was not signed, but the maps showed safe routes to Kalara's Prime. "Someone wants us to succeed," Admiral Yoon told her officers. Communication Officer Han the Gin was monitoring alien transmissions. Admiral, I'm hearing strange chatter from the outer rim. Some species are quietly cheering for us. They want the harvesters stopped too. But they won't help us, Admiral Yoon asked. No, ma'am, but they'll share intelligence if we need it. What? Evening, all the human ships had arrived. The fleet was magnificent and terrible. 47 warships floated around Earth like metal sharks. Their weapons were loaded. Their crews were ready. Admiral Yoon stood on the bridge of her flagship, the UES Determination. Through the windows, she could see Earth below, blue oceans and green continents. 7 billion humans lived down there. They were counting on this. Fleet Admiral Captain Kim Do-woo said over the radio from his ship, "All vessels report ready for departure." "Copy that," Admiral Yoon said. She opened a channel to all ships. "Attention, fleet," she said. "Today we begin Operation Sanctuary. We go to save the Kalari people. The galaxy thinks we are crazy. Maybe we are. But when someone calls for help, humans answer. When children are in danger, humans protect them. That's who we are." She paused and looked at Earth one more time. "The harvesters think they can eat entire worlds without consequences. Today we show them they're wrong. Today we show them what happens when you threaten our friends." The fleet turned toward deep space. 47 ships carrying humanity's hopes and fury. "All ships," Admiral Yoon said. "Jump to hyperspace. Destination, Vega system. Let's go save some lives." The stars stretched into lines of light. The human fleet disappeared into the dark, racing toward a battle that would change the galaxy forever. The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Vega system. What they saw made everyone go quiet. Admiral Yoon Taeyong stood on the bridge of her flagship. Through the main window, she could see 3 dead planets. They had been brown and green before. Now, they were gray rocks floating in space. No clouds, no oceans, nothing alive. "My God," whispered Navigator Lee Do-yoon. She had seen many star systems, but never anything like this. Captain Kim Do-woo's voice came over the radio from his ship. "Admiral, sensors show no life signs on the first 3 planets. They've been completely stripped." "What about Kalaris Prime?" Admiral Yoon asked. Communication Officer Han De-gin worked at her station. Numbers filled her screen. "The 4th planet still has an atmosphere, detecting some heat signatures underground. Survivors," Admiral Yoon said. Her heart beat faster. Pilot Ace Kong Woo-jin was flying scout patrol ahead of the main fleet. His fighter was small and fast. "Admiral, you need to see this. I'm sending video now." The main screen changed. Everyone could see what Kong Woo-jin was seeing through his cockpit. Massive ships floated between the dead planets. They were bigger than cities, bigger than mountains. Their hulls were not smooth metal like human ships. They looked like they were grown instead of built. Dark green and black, with veins running along their sides. "Those are the harvester ships," Dr. Bae Ji-woon said. His voice was very quiet. "They're even bigger than the report said." "How many?" Admiral Yoon asked. "Count 12, Kung Woo-jin said. "Wait, no. 15. Some of them are hiding behind the dead planets," Lieutenant Colonel Jang So-young studied the enemy ships on her screen. "Admiral, our biggest warship is 2 kilometers long. Those things are 50 kilometers each." "Size isn't everything," Admiral Yoon said. But inside she felt worried. How could they fight something so huge? Admiral Han De-jin said suddenly, "I'm getting a signal from Kalaris Prime, very weak." "It through," Admiral Yoon said. Static filled the bridge. Then a voice came through. It was scared and tired. "Double quotes, please." "Is anyone there?" says Elder Velen. "We are hiding in the deep caves under Mount Kalar. The harvesters have been digging toward us for days. Our children are so frightened." Admiral Yoon grabbed the microphone. "Elder Velen, this is Admiral Yoon of the Human Defense Forces. We received your distress call. We're here to help." Silence for a long moment. Then crying, happy crying. "Humans, you came, but ... But we are not your people. Why would you risk your lives?" "Because you asked for help," Admiral Yoon said simply. "The harvesters will kill you," Elder Velen said. They are too strong. Eat everything. Let us worry about that, Admiral Yoon said. How many survivors do you have? Maybe 800,000 in our caves. There were billions of us before. Admiral Yoon closed her eyes. Billions dead. But 800,000 still alive. That was worth fighting for. Elder, we're coming to get you, Admiral Yoon said. Hold on a little longer. She switched to the fleet channel. All ships prepare for combat. We have survivors to rescue. Captain Kim Do-woo moved his ship closer to Kelleris Prime. The planet looked terrible. The forests were gone. The cities were empty ruins. But the mountains still stood, and somewhere under them, the Kalari were hiding. Admiral Sergeant Lim Jae-ho said from the troop transport ship, "My Marines are ready to go down and find the survivors." "Not yet," Admiral Yoon said. "First we need to deal with those harvester ships." As if they heard her words, the giant alien vessels began to move. They turned toward the human fleet like sleeping monsters waking up. "Admiral, they're scanning us," Han the-jin said. "Good," Admiral Yoon said. "Let's surprise them more. All ships, attack formation Beta. Aim for their engines." The human fleet spread out, 47 ships against 15 giants. It should have been hopeless. But humans had learned to fight. Against bigger enemies many times in their history, the first harvester ship fired at them. A green beam of energy shot across space. It hit the UES Defender and cut right through its shields. "Defender is badly damaged," Captain Kim reported, "but still fighting." "Turn fire," Admiral Yoon ordered. All weapons, human ships opened. Fire with everything they had. Kinetic cannons shot metal shells at incredible speed. Missile launchers sent hundreds of explosive rockets toward the enemy. Laser batteries cut beams of red light through space. The metal shells hit the harvester ship first. Instead of bouncing off like energy weapons usually did, they punched right through the biomechanical hull. Direct hits. From his fighter, "Their armor can't stop our bullets." The harvester ship shuddered. Green fluid leaked from the holes in its side. It fired back, but its aim was bad. The ship was hurt and confused. Admiral Dr. Bae-juon said with excitement, "Their bioarmor is designed to absorb energy attacks. But kinetic weapons are too primitive for them to handle." "Then let's show them more primitive tactics," Admiral Yoon said. "Captain Kim, prepare for ramming speed." "Ma'am." Captain Kim sounded surprised. "You heard me? Ram that ship. Right in its weak spot." Captain Kim's ship, the Indomitable, turned toward the damaged harvester vessel. The human crew strapped themselves in. The engines roared to full power. "This is insane," Lee Do-yoon whispered. "Is human," Admiral Yoon said. The Indomitable hit the harvester ship like a metal spear. It drove deep into the alien hull. Explosions lit up space as the impact damaged both ships. "Kim, report," Admiral Yoon called. "We're inside their ship, Admiral," Captain Kim said. His voice was shaky but strong. "Hull breach on decks 4 through 7. But we're alive, and this thing is definitely hurt." The harvester ship tried to shake off the human vessel. But the Indomitable was stuck deep in its side. Green fluid poured out like blood. "All ships, concentrate fire on the damaged vessel," Admiral Yoon ordered. Human weapons tore into the wounded harvester. Finally, it stopped moving. The lights inside went dark. "First kill confirmed," Kong Woo-jin reported. "One giant bug down, 14 to go." But the other harvester ships were moving now. They surrounded the human fleet like a pack of wolves. Green energy beams filled space. 2 more human ships were badly damaged. Admiral Sergeant Lim Jae-ho called from his transport. "Permission to take a team down to the planet's surface. We can reach the Kalari caves while you keep the big ships busy." "Too dangerous," Admiral Yoon said. "Those things will spot your ships. Not if we go in fast and low," Lim Jae-ho said. "My boys are ready for anything," Admiral Yoon thought fast. They needed to save the Kalari. But they also needed to survive this battle. "Do it," she said. "Take 50 Marines. Find those caves. Get our people out." "Yes, ma'am." 3 small transport ships broke away from the fleet. They dove toward Kalaris Prime like falling stars. The harvester ships tried to shoot them, but the transports were too small and too fast. Transport 1 to fleet, Lim Jae-ho reported. We're on the surface. This place looks like hell, but we're moving toward the mountain. On the main battle, 2 more harvester ships closed in on the human fleet. Their weapons were getting more accurate. The U's Victory exploded in a ball of fire. We're losing too many ships, Captain Kim said. His own vessel was still stuck in the dead harvester, but his weapons were still working. Admiral Yoon looked at the tactical display. 14 enemy ships left. 44 human ships still fighting. The odds were getting worse. Admiral Dr. Bae Ji-woon said suddenly, I have an idea. What if we use biological warfare against machines? Admiral Yoon asked, They're not just machines. They're biomechanical, part living creature. Earth bacteria might hurt them. Admiral Yoon smiled. It was a dangerous smile. Do it. Load our torpedoes with every virus and bacteria we have. Ma'am, that's against galactic law, someone said. Admiral Yoon looked around her bridge. Her people were fighting and dying to save alien children they had never met. The galaxy can court-martial me later, she said. Right now we have lives to save. Dr. Bae Ji-woon worked fast in his medical lab. Round him, machines filled torpedo warheads with earth bacteria and viruses. These were diseases that made humans sick for a few days. But for aliens, they could be deadly. Biological torpedoes ready, Admiral Dr. Bae reported to the bridge. Fire them, Admiral Yoon ordered. 20 torpedoes shot toward the nearest harvester ship. They exploded against its hull in small puffs of smoke. At first, nothing happened. The giant ship kept firing its green energy beams at human vessels. Then, something went wrong with the harvester ship. Its weapons stopped firing. Parts of its hull began to change color. From dark green to sick yellow. It's working, Dr. Bae shouted. The earth bacteria are eating their bioarmor. The infected harvester ship tried to move away from the human fleet, but the disease spread fast. Soon, the entire vessel was covered in yellow spots. It drifted in space like a dying animal. Ships, fire biological weapons, Admiral Yoon commanded. More torpedoes filled with Earth's diseases hit the harvester ships. One by one, the giant vessels began to sicken and slow down. But the harvesters were learning. The remaining healthy ships stayed far away from the infected ones. They changed their attack pattern, firing from long range. Admiral Communication Officer Han the-jin called out, getting strange signals from the harvester ships. They're talking to each other. What are they saying? Admiral Yoon asked. Don't know. But Ensign Park Ginwoo in the computer section thinks he found something important. Ensign Park Ginwoo was young and smart. He had studied alien technology at the Space Academy. Now he ran into the bridge with his tablet computer. Admiral, I've been studying their communication signals, Park, Jinwoo said, breathing hard. All the harvester ships are connected. They share one big brain. A hive mind, Admiral Yoon asked. Yes, ma'am. And I think I found where the main brain is located. It's in the biggest ship, hiding behind the dead second planet. Admiral Yoon looked at the tactical screen. The biggest harvester ship was twice the size of the others. It had not joined the battle yet. It just waited and watched. If we destroy the main brain ship, what happens to the others? Admiral Yoon asked. They should shut down, Park Jinwoo said, like turning off a computer. Down on Kalaris Prime. Sergeant Lim Jae-ho and his Marines had found the Kalari Caves. The entrance was hidden under fallen rocks. They used explosives to clear the way. Hello? Lim Jae-ho called into the dark tunnel. We are humans. We came to help you. A small light appeared in the darkness. Elder Velen came forward slowly. She was tall and thin, with soft gray fur and big frightened eyes. Behind her, hundreds of Kalari families huddled together. You really came, Elder Velen whispered. I cannot believe it. We promised we would, Lim Jae-ho said. How many people do you have here? 800,000 in caves all around the mountain. But the harvesters are digging toward us. We have maybe 6 hours before they break through. Lim Jae-ho spoke into his radio. Admiral, we found the survivors. But we need more transport ships. A lot more. Help is coming, Admiral Yoon replied. Hold your position. In space, the battle was getting harder. More human ships were damaged or destroyed, but the biological weapons were working. Half the Harvester ships were now infected and helpless. Admiral. Captain Kim reported from inside the dead Harvester ship. I can see their main command vessel. It's huge. Our weapons might not be enough to destroy it. Admiral Yoon studied the tactical display. The human fleet was down to 32 working ships. The enemy command ship was 5 times bigger than anything they had fought so far. All ships form up for final attack, Admiral Yoon ordered. Target the command vessel. Ma'am, Lieutenant Colonel Jang So-young said. That thing will destroy us before we get close. Maybe, Admiral Yoon said, but if we don't try, the Kalari will die. And the Harvesters will move on to eat more worlds. The human fleet turned toward the massive command ship. As they got closer, the enemy vessel came out from behind the dead planet. It was like a floating city made of dark metal and living tissue. Hundreds of weapons covered its surface. My God. Navigator Lee Dayun whispered. How do we fight something like that? The command ship fired. Green energy beams as thick as buildings shot across space. 3 human ships exploded instantly. Return fire. Admiral Yoon shouted. Human weapons hit the command ship, but they barely left scratches on its massive hull. The enemy vessel kept firing. More human ships died. Admiral Dr. Bay called from his lab. The biological weapons aren't working on the command ship. Its armor is different. Stronger. Admiral Yoon felt her heart sink. They were losing. Too many good people were dying. Then Captain Kim's voice came over the radio. His ship was still stuck inside the first Harvester they had. Killed, Admiral? I have an idea. A crazy idea. Tell me, Admiral, Yoon said. This dead ship I'm stuck in, its engines still work. I could fly it right into the command ship. Ram it like we did before, but with a much bigger weapon. Kim, you'll be killed, Admiral Yoon said. Maybe, but my crew can escape in the life. Pods first, and if it works, we save everyone. Admiral Yoon closed her eyes. Captain Kim was her friend. They had served together for 10 years. Do it, she said. Captain Kim Du-woo stood on the bridge of his ship, which was buried deep inside the dead Harvester vessel. Around him, his crew prepared to abandon ship. All hands to escape pods, Kim announced. This is not a drill. His crew looked at him. With respect. They knew he was staying behind to fly the dead alien ship. They knew he might die. Sorry, his first officer said. Let someone else do this. The fleet needs you. The fleet needs this to work more than it needs me, Kim said. Now go. That's an order. One by one, his crew left in the escape pods. Soon, Kim was alone on the bridge. He looked at the alien controls around him. Strange symbols and pulsing lights. But he had studied the captured Harvester technology. Thought he could make it work. Admiral Yoon Kim said into his radio, The dead ship's engines are responding. I'm starting the approach. The massive dead Harvester began to move. Kim used its engines to push toward the command ship. It was slow and clumsy, but it worked. The enemy command ship noticed the dead vessel moving toward it. Energy beams shot out, hitting the dead Harvester, but the ship was already destroyed inside. The beams did not stop it. Kim, get out of there. Admiral Yoon shouted over the radio. Sorry, Admiral, Kim said. Someone has to guide this thing in. If I leave now, I'll miss the target. The dead Harvester ship picked up speed. Kim pushed the engines to maximum power. Through the alien windows, he could see the command ship getting bigger and bigger. Tell my wife I was thinking of her, Kim said calmly. The dead Harvester hit the command ship like a mountain falling from the sky. The impact tore both vessels apart. Explosions lit up space like a new sun. When the light faded, both ships were gone. Pieces of metal drifted in space where they used to be. Across the battlefield, all the remaining Harvester ships suddenly stopped moving. Their lights went out. They drifted in space like empty shells. All enemy vessels have shut down, Honda Jin reported. Her voice was quiet and sad. The hive mind is broken, Ensign Park Jinwoo said. Captain Kim did it. He saved us all. Admiral Yoon stood silently for a moment. A good man had died to save people he had never met. But that was what humans did. All ships, begin rescue operations, she ordered. Let's get the Kalari out of those caves. For the next 12 hours, human ships worked to evacuate the survivors. Transport after transport landed on Kalaris Prime. Marines helped Kalari families into the ships. Medical teams treated the sick and injured. Elder Velen was one of the last to leave. She stood with Admiral Yoon on the bridge of the flagship. 847,000 Kalari saved, Elder Velen said, because humans heard our call for help. We're sorry we couldn't save more, Admiral Yoon said. You saved our children, Elder Velen replied. You gave our people a future. How can we ever repay such a gift? Just keep being who you are, Admiral Yoon said. Keep helping people. Keep making medicine for the sick. The galaxy needs more kindness, not more debt. 3 days later, ships from the Galactic Council finally arrived. They found the human fleet loading the last Kalari refugees onto medical ships. Council Speaker Nexera was angry. He was a tall alien with blue skin and 4 arms. Admiral Yoon, you have broken 17 galactic laws. You used biological weapons. You started a war without permission. We saved lives, Admiral Yoon said simply. Your methods were too violent. It's a primitive, Speaker, Nexera said. Admiral Yoon looked at the Kalari children playing in the ship's corridors. They were alive because humans had chosen to fight. Speaker, we didn't come here to fall here. Laws, Admiral Yoon said. We came here to save people who asked for help. If that makes us primitive, then I'm proud to be primitive. The human fleet returned to Earth as heroes. The Kalari survivors were given new worlds to live on. They sent grateful messages to Earth every day. But the most important change was in how other species saw humans. Before, they thought humans were dangerous and violent. Now they knew humans were dangerous and violent when their friends were threatened. And sometimes, that was exactly what the galaxy needed. Elder Velen spoke at the ceremony honoring Captain Kim and the other humans who died in the battle. The humans call Earth a death world, she said. But we have learned something. The humans are not the most dangerous thing to come from their death world. Their love is. Their willingness to die for strangers. Their refusal to let children suffer alone in the dark. She looked up at the stars where the human fleet had fought and won. We will never forget what they did for us. And we will make sure the galaxy never forgets either. Years later, when other species faced impossible threats, they knew who to call. Not the Galactic Council with their committees and delays. They called the humans. People from the death world who came when you needed them most. And the humans always answered.